Hi, today we're going to talk about some of the easy ways to start with fishing rods and reels. You don't have to go to an expensive store like Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's to be able to start. You can start at your local Big 5 or even Walmart. I'm going to show you some of my examples that I actually use on a regular basis that I got from Walmart. We'll start with this one. This one is a very interesting one. It's about as cheap as you can get from Walmart. It's their cheap Micro Series Shakespeare rod. I believe it's 7 feet. It's a 7-foot rod. It's really light action. And on it we got, it's even a generic one. It doesn't really have a brand name. It's their $15 reel that they have from Walmart. On it I have 8-pound fluorocarbon. And the length and the lightness of this rod makes it really good for a lot of panfish, everything up to trout. It's really great for trout too. Here's the other one of my rods that I use pretty frequently. This one's an interesting one because this reel I actually won on a cruise ship. On our cruise we spent a lot of money in the arcade, and one of the things in the arcade price lot was this guy. And at the time it wasn't actually sold in the United States. This is a Daiwa. It's their 3000 series. They actually started selling this in the United States. It's got some different colors now, but I like it so far. To go with this rod, we got the almost bottom of the line rod you can get from Walmart. It's a Rhino Indestructible. It's a 6'6" rod, and it has a glow-in-the-dark tip. And this rod is really great for trout, all the way up to some of the bigger ones. You can catch pike on it. One of the things that I really like to use this one for, because of the glow-in-the-dark tip, is for burbot. Burbot is an invasive species that they have at Flaming Gorge, and they want you to catch burbot. So if you live in Utah or Idaho or Wyoming, go catch some burbot. They're good for catching at night. That's when their big feeding is right after sunset. So glow-in-the-dark tip, glow-in-the-dark jig head, that's what you want. And you want something with a pretty firm backbone, because they're pretty good fighters. And they have a very, very hard lip. This is about as cheap of a spinning rod as I would probably ever go, and I don't use it very frequently. This is another one from Walmart. It's a Matsuo combo that I got together. And I mean, it is what it is. It's got a plastic frame on the reel, and it's a 6-foot rod, so it's still okay. I'm a little bit taller than it. And I believe it came with 8-pound fluorocarbon is what it looks like. One thing you'll probably need to consider is that you'll probably be taking friends, or maybe you want a really relaxing fishing trip, or you just want simplicity. And in that case, you can never go wrong with some cheap Zebco spinning rods. I mean, they are what they are, and they're great. They cast really easily. It's all ready to go. Anybody can do it, and anybody can be pretty good on them. It can make even the most novice person look like a very decent fisherman. I have a couple of these for if I ever take my friends out and they're just brand new. They're great. These all are, I believe they're 5/6 rods. That's what they look like, and they look like they come with probably 6-pound, either fluorocarbon or probably mono. So there you go. That's what I usually fish with. You can find something that's pretty decent from any store you go to. There are just some things that I do suggest that you look for. First of all, if you're buying your rod and reel separate, or if you're buying them in the combo, look to try and find one that has metal rings around where the rod mounts to the reel. I just feel that makes things a whole lot less problematic in the future. I've had ones, if you get ones with plastic, they're just plastic. I've accidentally twisted them too tight, snapped the plastic. You don't really run into that with metal. You know it's going to stay sturdy. So look for that. Metal rings on the rod. You also want to consider how long of a rod you're going to want to get. For most people, if you're starting out, I would suggest around a 5-foot or 5'6" rod, just because those are easier to handle. You're going to get it caught on less things, you're going to smack the tip on less things, and most likely not break it as often. I would also suggest, if you're brand new, get a spinning reel. Get a closed face spinning reel. They're the easiest to cast, they're the easiest to take care of, they're the least problematic. If you have experience casting, you want to look for something that's a little bit more versatile, something that's got a switch on it so you can reverse the reel. Then you want to look at a spinning reel. You want to look at a spinning combo. Now you do want to pay attention. If you're getting your combo and you're getting them separately, you're getting the reel and the rod separately, you want to look at the rods you get. There's a difference between a spinning rod, and a casting rod. And that difference comes to the first couple eyes, the first guides for the fishing line. You can see there's a size difference. For a spinning reel, because that line's going around in a pretty good radius, you need a bigger hole. When you're using a spinning reel, it'll let that line move more freely, and it'll be less jittery as you're reeling it in. I've had that problem before, where I got a casting rod with a spinning reel, and it's kind of thumpy. Yeah, you want to avoid that. And it doesn't matter as much, but if you get a casting reel, then you might as well get a casting rod. They have smaller eyes on them. The reason why you do is because the fishing line doesn't have to move around very much, so you don't need a big aperture for the line to go around to reel in smooth. If you get a rod and reel where it doesn't have those metal twisty guides on it, usually they'll have a zip tie on them from the store. Leave the zip tie on, or add a couple zip ties yourself, crisscrossed. It's just kind of an insurance just in case that plastic twisty breaks. If you have any questions, please comment below. I'll answer them. If you have any questions about anything else, likewise. If you like this video, like it, subscribe, and thank you.